I've identified there are 2 times when it's socially acceptable to lie. To spare someone's feelings, it's okay to lie. It's also okay to lie to cover up a murder. Allow me to explain. When we discover someone's a murderer, we also learn they've done some fibbing. But we tend to focus on the murder part. You never hear, I'm angry he killed that guy, but frankly, I'm more upset about the lying. It's the dishonesty that bothers me. Some trust has been broken. Speaking of lying murderers, I watch a lot of Dateline. I don't want to brag. Some other winners out there. If you're unfamiliar or you have a life, Dateline is a news magazine show, like 60 Minutes, but at one point, Dateline just went all in on murder. And it's usually spousal murder. Like if you watch Dateline, it appears most marriages end in murder. Every episode starts the same. They had the perfect marriage. But you know someone's getting killed. A husband, a wife, sometimes they'll get someone else to kill their spouse, which seems impersonal. It's like you took a vow, do it yourself.
You gotta take advantages of all these like Asian stereotypes, you know? If people's gonna exoticize us, that's fine. Whenever somebody asks me to do something I don't wanna do, I just make up a fake Chinese holiday now. It's like, hey Jimmy, can you help me move next Monday? I'm like, Monday? That's the Dragon Boat Lychee Boba Festival, dog. I can't just help you move. My grandfather died for that shit, you understand? And if people's gonna assume that I don't speak English, that's fine. That's what I do now when I get pulled over by the cops. I just pretend I don't speak English. Haven't gotten a ticket in 5 years. Last time I got pulled over, the cop was knocking on my window. He's like, sir, you do understand you can't make a right turn here. It says right there in the sign you can't make a right turn. So I just looked up at him. I was like, oh. I don't know. I'm sorry, but the English is not very good, so I cannot read the sign. And he was really confused. He just looked back down at me. He was like, sir, the sign is not in English. It's a diagram, so I don't understand how that's a language barrier. So I just looked up at him. I was like, oh, I don't know. But do you know today is the Dragon Ball Lychee Bowl?
But the pressure to get married is real. I myself got engaged. Thank you. By changing my Facebook status to engaged. It's easy. Anyone can do it tonight, even. And everyone was so excited for me. I should preface this by saying I was having a little cup of wine, and by cup I mean bottle. And I was like, I'm just gonna change my status to engaged. I should say I had quit drinking, and then I missed it. I was like, I just want to go have some wine on some dates. What's the big deal? So I went and had some wine on some dates, right? And then it just became one long date with wine alone in my apartment for a decade. Long story short, I did end up getting married to wine. And true to statistics, it did end up in divorce. So back to my Facebook engagement. So back to my fake book engagement, right? So I'm having a little cup of wine. I switch my status on Facebook to engaged. The reason I thought that was no big deal is because the night before I had changed it to single, which elicited no response whatsoever. Nary a like. So I didn't think it was a big deal. I switch it to engage. I fall asleep. The next morning, there's all these comments, all these likes. People are so happy for me. And I was panicked. I'm like, oh my God, do I tell them I lied? That's not my brand. I just need to get away from the internet to the safety of the real world. So I go to Trader Joe's And this girl's like, I saw you got engaged. I'm so excited for you. What's his name? I'm like scanning the store, like, his name's Joe Yogurt. His name's Joe Yogurt. Falafel. That's so exciting. How did he propose? Well, he rented the silent movie theater and he came on screen as the actor and he proposed, and then he had a hot air balloon waiting outside, and we just hopped in and drifted over the city sipping champagne. Where's your ring? It's in the shop. You know how antiques are. Guys and girls treat engagements, differently. First of all people should be allowed to be engaged and married. I'll say that. Secondly, people were complimenting me, so excited for me. But for my guy friends announcing their engagements on Facebook, their guy friends were like, who's the ball and chain? I give it a year. Strip club bus tour. The way they approach the actual event, it's almost like they're planning two different events too. For women, we'll say things like, this year's all about the wedding. It's just a year of the wedding. And then for guys, it just seems to be about cramming their penises into as many last-minute holes as they can before they have to settle on one person's holes for the rest of their lives.